Hello everybody, WinkyFace14 here, and here's everything you need to know about Minecraft 1.21.5 or the Spring to Life game drop. Now, I will forward this. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of the game drop. There is now a new update system for Minecraft. Instead of one very big update every year, they're now doing four smaller updates or game drops, quote unquote, throughout the year. This is going to be the first game drop for this year. The Spring to Life game drop is now part of, or this game drop is Minecraft 1.21.5. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a confusing thing, in my perspective, of the version numbering of the game, since there's going to be four game drops. We don't know where 1.22 will come in, but just remember the Spring to Life game drop is 1.21.5. They already teased the next game drop for summer in Minecraft Live last March 22nd. They just concluded. I'm recording this like a day after. And I'm not going to talk about that because this is the Spring to Life game drop showcase, or Minecraft 1.21.5 showcase. And also, just a little bit of a note, there will be another Minecraft Live later in the year, so that I suppose that's gonna showcase the fall and winter drops, because I assume there's four game drops a year now. I forgot to mention that there's going to be four game drops instead of one full drop or one full update. I think I mentioned that earlier. And this is spring. The next is going to be on summer. I'm going to assume that the fall and winter drops will be featured for the next Minecraft Live. So without further ado, let's get into everything that's new for Minecraft 1.21.5 or the Spring to Life game drop. Okay, let's just go to the world. Alright, so let's first talk about some new vegetation and also some changes for the vegetation in the overworld. As you can see right over here, this is oak, this is spruce, this is birch. As you can see, there are now falling leaves particles on all trees. I think, yep, dark oak is also here, acacia is also here, and all of these trees are now in parity with the cherry tree that has a falling particle from their leaves. And these guys will actually... Oh, it's a bit laggy. Ooh. But if you place blocks, or if you place leaf blocks, it will also occur. The particles will also occur on player placed leaf blocks. So it basically adds more ambiance on the forest, as you can see right here. Now, speaking of ambience, there's actually a new block, as you can see right here, which is called the bush. Now, these guys can be found on plains, windswept hills, windswept gravelly hills, windswept forest, rivers, frozen rivers, forest, birch forest, and also old growth birch forest. So as you can see, this is I think this is a regular forest, and they will be generated sparingly throughout the world, especially in these biomes. Now, these are basically grass, but as you can see, fairly thick with two C's, not three, but two C's. To grow them, you actually cannot grow them through right-clicking them on the grass, I believe. Yeah, it's only grass that grows. But if you find a bush, you can just right-click it, and it will grow one next to it. Now, it cannot grow diagonally. It only grows on all sides. And that's how you basically get a lot of them. And how do you basically get them? You can use shears and also silk touch tools, which is actually pretty good. There's actually another type of bush that can only be found in like swamps, and this is a river apparently. So yes, a river near water in mangrove swamps, and very rarely in the badlands. And that is actually right over here, the Firefly Bush. Now, the Firefly Bush emits a little bit of, amount of light, but at night, so let's actually turn the night, slash time, no, not time, set midnight. If we turn it to night, as you can see, there are a little bit of firefly particles that is emitted by this block. As you can see, it's like a little bit of light level. It's actually light level 2 that this block emits, but if you're near a firefly block, it emits sounds of fireflies, and also it adds little firefly particles around it. Yeah, you hear that? That's the sound of fireflies. It adds additional ambience to the overworld. There's actually more here. If I move, it's a bit laggy, but yeah, so it doesn't emit particles unless you are relatively close to it. Now, there are a little bit of like mechanics with this. So the sounds it will only play at night, but the particles can be emitted during the day or night as long as there is excuse me, basically if it's dark, and it only emits particles up to 5 blocks, so it's not gonna lag your world because it doesn't emit like a lot of particles, and it's basically for aesthetics. And if you want to get more of these guys, you can just right click it. Wait, I think let's try it here. Yeah, so it has the same mechanic as the bush. So it basically only, let's try this one out. Oh. So it only grows on cardinal directions, not diagonally. Only on its sides, but not through the diagonals. So yeah, just an additional ambience for for swamps and especially rivers. It's actually really cool. Now, next vegetation is actually these little yellow and white flowers, which are called the wildflowers. Look at that. Ooh, wildflowers. Now, these guys can only be found in birch forests, old growth birch forests, and also the meadows, which is this guy right here. This is the meadows. It actually looks really cute. Now, they act similarly to pink petals. You can actually place up to 4 in one block. And you can also grow them using bone meal. You can see right here, if you go here, bam, bam, bam. And if you right click a fully occupied block of wildflowers with bone meal, it basically just drops it as an item. It's pretty cool. Now, what can you do with this? Let's get a crafting table, because this guy can make yellow dye. Look at that. You can make yellow dye using these guys. And they're actually a pretty cool thing. Now, they can also be placed on 4 cardinal directions, as you can see right here. So there's a lot of customizability using the wildflowers, just like the pink petals. Speaking of, another new block, or new nature block, that is similar to how pink petals work. Pink petals? pink petals work is these little guys here, which is called the leaf litter. These guys, these blocks generate in forests, dark forests, and wooded badlands. There's actually another way to get leaf litters. So if we get a furnace and a little bit of a coal or any fuel, and we basically get, I don't know, just any leaf. Basically put our coal here. We get not this guy, but some leaves. We can get it leaf litter by smelting any leaves in a furnace. Bada bing bada boom, we got a leaf litter. Now, since like I said, this acts like a pink petal, it can be placed on 4 different orientations. It can be filled up up to 4, but you cannot bone meal it because it makes sense. It looks like litter leaves that basically fallen down, and the only way to get it is basically through here and through smelting. And fun fact, you can actually use leaf litter to cook things. Now, it's not gonna be as good as a stick. Basically, 2 leaf litter is equals to 1 item. Pretty straightforward, right? Pretty straightforward. Now, let's actually go into something a little bit drier because, we're kind of talking into like a dry leaves. Let's go somewhere that is a little bit drier. And when I say drier, it's gonna be dry because we're now in the desert. There's actually a lot of things that is going to be added specifically in the desert that will be joining the cactus and the dead bush. Now, first and foremost, we have the short dry grass and the tall dry grass. Now, they're basically grass, but dry. Wow, good explanation. Yes, indeed. Now, you cannot bone meal it from here. It only generates in the desert. Well, not just desert. In the desert, the badlands as well. And you can use shears or any silk touch spectator. What do you call this? You can use any silk touch or shears. Silk touch tools or shears to get the tall grass and the short grass. And what would happen if we bone meal a tall grass? It just grows a short grass around it. And we can actually get the tall grass to basically grow. It's gonna be the same as the bush and the firefly bush. And if we bone meal a short dry grass, it turns into a tall dry grass. So you can basically grow these infinitely if you have a lot of bone meal. And you can actually place dry grass on sand, sand, terracotta, or dirt, not sandstone. Only those 3 blocks. So let's actually test that really quickly. So just got dirt and terracotta. Because terracotta is mainly found on the badlands. So that's actually pretty good. As you can see right here, it works as intended. And actually, I just remembered something. We can actually use the dry grass, both dry grass, into a furnace. That's pretty good. And I believe it is the same as the leaf litter. It's gonna do half an item per, it's gonna cook 1 item for every 2 pieces of dry grass. That's pretty much it. Let's actually move forward into the cactus right here. Like I think you guys probably saw this. Now there is a chance that a cactus flower will grow on top of a naturally growing cactus. Oh gosh, yeah, naturally growing cactus. And there's actually a 10% chance if a cactus grows from 1 block to 2 blocks, and a 25% chance if a cactus grows from 2 blocks to 3 blocks. And you can actually place them on anywhere, just anywhere where a plant can be placed. And you can actually get this without any tools needed. You can just punch it and you get it. And this is a viable way to get pink dye. So, that's pretty cool. And of course, wherever the cactus generates, it can also generate, the cactus flower can also generate. And if you're listening very closely, I'm gonna stay quiet for a little bit. There are new ambient sounds added to the biome. Now, these are basically mainly played from sand blocks and also the dry grass, I believe. No, actually, I believe it's the sand and also the dead bush that is being played. So the sounds that you're hearing when you're in the desert will be played when there's, of course, any of the sand blocks. So regular sand and red sand. Now, additional information about the vegetations that we talk about. So the bush, firefly bush, the leaf litter, the wildflowers, the 2 dry grasses, and the cactus flower, they can be used in a composter. So that's pretty cool. So if if you have a lot of these, you can just get it to that. Now, oh, also I actually forgot about this. Wildflower and the cactus flower, I mean, it's in the name, you can use them to breed bees. We're gonna talk about what I used to spawn the bees later. Don't worry. Oh, but yeah, basically the bees can be bred using the cactus flower and the wildflowers, and also attract them. So there's more ways for that. Alright, so whatever's in my inventory right now is actually new, and these are mainly going to be used by data pack developers, by the the actual Minecraft devs themselves, and also the mod developers out there. These are this is the instance block, and these are the test blocks. Now, basically, these are mainly used for confirming if an entity is working as intended or if a feature is working as intended. And this is basically the starting point. This is the log. And, well, it's going to be a fail. Accept. I don't know exactly how these things work, but these are mainly used for testing basically the internal parts of something in Minecraft, and these are basically going to be useful for the the developers out there for custom content or user created content for Minecraft. And actually, let's actually pivot back to the biomes, because there are actually new generated structures. Well, it's not like structures, but features. As I think I saw one here. Features here in 1.21.5. So on biomes now where trees generate, there's going to be fallen trees. Now these trees can be oak, spruce, birch, and jungle trees. So they can be found on their respective biomes. So wherever the jungle trees, which is basically the jungle, spruce can be found on taigas. So those guys, those biomes can have fallen trees spawn on them, and there can be vines or mushrooms on top of these fallen logs. Now, the only biomes that fallen trees cannot spawn is actually the meadows, the bamboo jungle, the river, of course, the grove, and the flower forest. Well, in the flower forest, only fallen birch trees like these guys. Oh, this is a stump, but where's the tree? I don't know. But yeah, only birch trees can generate and not oak. Let's actually switch into something very interesting. Let's do some little magic here. Now, this is going to be a little bit of an interesting thing. These are what I would say the OG looks of our, spawn eggs. I'm gonna put the names on the bottom side of each egg. You can take a pause, of course. You can take a pause right here, just so that you guys remember what it looks like in terms of the look of each spawn egg. And give me 1 second. And here is what the spawn eggs will look like past 1.21.5. As you can see, each individual mob will have their own distinct look for their spawn eggs. And the fun thing is, resource pack makers can also change individual textures for each of the spawn eggs. That's actually pretty cool. So I'm just gonna have that this photo. Well, this is not a photo. This is actually a video. I'm just gonna. You guys can pause and just look at each detail closely. If you're watching on a phone, you can zoom in and out. Just pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna show the old textures again here. We're gonna transition back to that, and then we're gonna transition back to the new textures right around now. So you guys see a little bit of a contrast. The creeper has its own iconic face right here, and also just a little bit of change in the inventory tab. The egg is now actually the creeper egg instead of, I believe it was the pig before in the inventory. But now it's now using the creeper egg. Now, wolves actually have a little bit of a change for 1.21.5. There are now actually 6 variants just for the sounds of the wolf. And actually, the wolves are not, the look of the wolf is not tied to the sound that they're gonna make. So that's actually pretty good. So there is the classic. I think I'm just gonna put the sounds on each time I say it. But there's actually a lot of sounds. So there's the classic, the big, the cute, puglin, angry, grumpy, and sad. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, there's basically new sounds, basically, and it would take about a bit of time for me to, feature all of the sounds. But I mean, you guys can hear it now. I'm so sorry for the dogs, but I need to demonstrate the sounds as well. But I'm gonna put a montage right after I said this, and then once the montage is back, we're gonna talk about the exciting part actually. So let's play the montage. Now, I don't remember what I said last clip, but the next interesting that we're gonna be talking about is actually this little tree farm animals, which is the pig, the cow, and the chicken. And these guys actually has a very interesting change for 1.25. Now, they now have 3 different variants. So this is the temperate look or the original looks of these mobs. And then we're gonna head on over to the desert, which has the warm variants. Well, with the warm variants, you can find them on warm biomes. Hopefully it's kind of clear. And if we go to the cold biomes, we're gonna be able to find the cold variants of these animals. And of course, cold biomes are gonna be taiga. Um, I guess taiga is like the most common cold biomes that farm animals can spawn. And actually, if we take a cow and look at it, we can look at it right here. We have a little bit of a change. So the horns, I think, is a bit protruded. And as you can see, the little nose is actually protruded as well. And it has a little bit of a change texture, updated texture. If you look at the mushroom, it also applies to the mushroom. So you can see, hopefully, okay, we can get the brown mushroom, but the protruded nose and the updated textures also apply to the mushrooms. We're gonna need to eliminate the mushrooms, apologies about that. And if we look at the other cows, actually, let's summon a cow. We're gonna, I think I forgot the thing, but yeah. Well, actually, we can try I know that okay, but I mean, you guys saw the other variants. The updated models for the color are also updated for that. And let's actually move to the chickens. For the chickens, they actually lay new eggs, which is the blue egg for the cold and the brown egg for the warm variant. And of course, wherever the egg, the regular egg is used for recipes, you can also use the blue egg and the brown egg. So pumpkin pies, cakes, I think those are the only two things that eggs are used. Now, let's try to collect some of the variants in this area. Okay, so with some of the variants here, there is a question probably in your heads. What if we breed a warm variant with a temperate variant? What will be the baby? That is a really bad example, but um the baby will depend, there you go, will depend on the parents and not on the biome where they are bred on. So for example, the cold, if we breed a cold and a temperate by a cow, you saw that there is a chance for cold baby cow to spawn. So yeah, so if you find at least one of the temperate, or one of the, they call this, one of the variants of the pigs, you can easily just get either from the two variants. So that, I think that is all for the very own farm animals. Actually, there's actually another animal that has been changed for this version. So let's get to the sheep real quick. So for the sheep, it's actually, this is gray. Sorry. All right. So for the sheep, there's actually changes to its spawning rules. So in temperate biomes, so forest, plains, I believe meadows is part of that as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can find commonly the white sheep, and then for the uncommon, you can find black, gray, light gray, and brown. For the cold biomes, black is the most common color sheep here that you can find in a cold biome. And then for the uncommon, there's going to be the gray, light gray, brown, and white. And for the warm biomes, including the Badlands, is actually a change that I haven't mentioned yet. Farm animals can now spawn on Badlands. That's why there are warm variants for the pigs, cows, and chickens, and changes to the sheep because Badlands can now spawn farm animals because they can have, like, these grass patches. So these guys can spawn. And the most common color for sheeps are brown, and the uncommon are the gray, light gray, white, and black. Oh, wow. I was gonna put you in the shot, but yeah. How could I forget the pink sheep? And the pink sheep will still be the rarest color on all biomes. It's the spawning rate for the sheep has not been changed, and it can still spawn on any biome with no restrictions. And there's also actually another change for the model of the sheep. As you can see, let's get some shears actually, because we're gonna demonstrate that as well. So you can see the color of the sheep is actually also part of its head model. Can you stop moving, Mr. Pink Sheep? Thank you very much. But yeah, so you can see the head is not changing colors. We can actually demonstrate that. Let's put a white. Let's dye it white. As you can see, it changes to white. Let's put another dye gray. As you can see, the head changes colors because if we shear it, the color under the skins, or the what do you call this? I actually don't know what it's called, but the color of the sheep, or the undercoat, there you go, that's the word. The undercoat of the sheep is actually matching the color of its wool. So this is actually a feature parity with the Bedrock edition. Now, let's pivot to the villagers, now specifically the cartographers, because their traits have been updated. right? And they can now offer, well, not they can, but they now offer, don't leave, sir. They now offer explorer maps. And this is a plain cartographer. And it offers on level 2 a Savannah Village map, and the other explorer map that it can offer is actually a Taiga Village map. For the desert villagers or desert cartographers, they can actually offer a jungle explorer map. Now, these explorer maps actually points to a jungle temple, a plains village map, or the savannah village map. For the savannah cartographers, okay, let's trade it up with this guy. Thank you very much. Let's wait for this guy to. There you go. All right. So for the savannah cartographers, it can offer a plains village map, a desert village map, or the jungle the jungle explorer map. Right. So for the snow cartographers, we have a plains village map, a swamp explorer map. Now this explorer map actually points towards the nearest swamp hut, or it can also offer a taiga village map. And lastly, for the villagers on a taiga village, or villagers on that spawn on a taiga biome, they can offer a snowy village map, a plains village map, or a swamp explorer map. Now, these are only for the naturally generating villages. So that's the plains, desert, savanna, snow, and taiga. But there's actually trades for the two villager types that are not naturally occurring. For a jungle villager, the explorer maps that you can get from them is actually a swamp explorer map, a savanna village map, or a desert village map. And of course, for the swamp variant of the cartographer or the villager, they can offer a snow village map, a jungle explorer map, or a taiga explorer map. Now, I have to take note of this. There can only be 2 of the explorer maps for the second level. So there are villagers that offer 3 different maps. I think that is a desert, savanna, snow, taiga, jungle, and what do you call this? Swamp villagers. And basically, on their 5th level, they will always offer, not also, they will always 100% offer a trial explorer map, so that you can easily find a trial chamber. And also, you will find an ocean explorer map on their 5th trade level. Let's actually try to get that compass. Let's do a live demonstration here so that you guys can see. And let's see here. So we can find, there you go. So this is the 3rd level. So for the 3rd level, well, actually, I misspoke on that one. For the 3rd level, it's always going to be a trial explorer map. My apologies. Okay, let's reword that. For the 3rd level of the cartographer, it will always offer a trial explorer map. And for the 5th level, okay, that's the correct wording now. So for the 5th level, it's always going to be the... Oh, there's a chance. Sorry, there's a chance. Per second, there's only 4 levels? Wait, no. There should be another level. Right? Because the diamond level? Yeah. Okay, yeah, there you go. So for the diamond level, or the 5th level, it's always going to be a woodland mansion. So, okay. Apologies. Okay, let's reword this again. Oh my god, this is the third time. I didn't read my script, that's why. Okay, so the third level is either a trial explorer map or an ocean explorer map, so that's for the ocean monuments. And then for the fifth level, it's always going to be the woodland explorer map. Okay, I did a lot of, you know, changes on that, but I'm not gonna cut it because that is part of the script actually. It's actually part of the script. And there's also changes on the wandering traders. It's actually, let's get back to that. There are actually a lot of changes also with the wandering trader. And first off are actually new trades. So for four baked potatoes, they will give you an emerald, and it will be disabled on 2 trades. Okay, you know what? Let's explain this. Let's explain this little chest here. So the barriers here, or the amount of these items, barriers, is the amount of times you can only trade with them for the specific trade. So for 4 baked potatoes, they will give you 1 emerald. You can only trade it twice. Same with the fermented spider for 3 emeralds, hay bale for 1, milk bucket for 2 emeralds, a bottle of water for 1 emerald, and a bucket of water for 2 emeralds. If you wanted to get planks or logs from them, they will give you 8 logs for 1 emerald, but you can only trade it for 4 times. They for the iron pickaxe, this is actually always going to be enchanted. It's gonna be random. It's gonna range between 6 to 20 depending on the enchant of the pickaxe, and you can only trade it once. And for they can also offer a potion of invisibility for 5 emeralds. It's going to be a long one, so this 8 minutes, but you can only trade it once as well. Now, there are also some changed trades or tweaked trades for the wandering traders. So the gunpowder now gives the gunpowder trade. They now give 4 instead of 1, but they lowered it into 2 trades basically. For the packed ice, it now costs 1 emerald instead of 3. No changes on the amount of trades you can get it. The bucket of puffer fish is now 3, down from 5. It's the same thing with the bucket of tropical fish. For the lily pad, they now give 5 lily pads instead of 2, but the trades is now going to be 2 instead of 5, so they just basically switch it around. For the brown mushroom, they now give you 3 per trade, but they can only do 4, down from 12. So it's basically less trades for more quantity, or less emeralds for more amount of items for the changes. Hello, Mr. Cow. Now that we have covered all of the major changes that is added into Minecraft 1.21.5, it's time for the minor changes. Now, the first one is the lodestone. We can now craft the lodestone using 8 chiseled stone bricks and 1 piece of iron. There you go. So you now can make lodestone much easier, and also you can also find the lodestones in ruined portals chests. I think that's one of those. Now, this is actually a fun one. Let's get a beacon. We're gonna build it really quickly. Ta-da! Come on, there you go. So, for the changes for the beacon, you can now see, let's actually remove the clouds. Where is the clouds? Let's turn that off. So you can see, let's actually turn it time, set night. So you can see the beacon can actually be seen higher into the it can be seen higher vertically, so it's basically double the vertical distance, and the beacon itself can now be seen further based on your render distance. So if your render distance is 16 chunks, it now goes further than 16 chunks. Of course, it still depends on your render distance. I have my render distance down to 8 because that's what my device can handle, in terms of performance and looks. But you can now see the what I call this, the beacon beams higher. Also, there are new iron sounds. So this is applies for iron blocks, iron trapdoors, iron doors, iron pressure plates, I believe, and also iron bars. So listen. And also for walking sounds. So the sounds are just a little bit tweaked. Oh, speaking of, actually, this is perfect time. So, the eye blossoms and the creaking hearts now, they now switch off based on the time of day and not on a random time. So, if we turn this to noon, they should close up eventually, right? I believe so. I mean, it should. Because that's what it said in the thing. Because I placed the eye blossom here. Oh, wait. I think I should put it on day. No? Okay. Because if I put it on night, you can see these two should open as accordingly. Right. Yeah. So, because I don't have time moving things, it's not going to work, as intended. But let's do night, let's do a game rule change, do daylight cycle true. But I think if we enable that, and when the day moves, these flowers should close over time. Speaking of, actually, we should go to a pale garden because, as you can see, the pale garden can now spawns on a much bigger size, because before in 1.21.4 it only spawns like at least, I don't know, like a fraction, just like, I guess, like a fourth of this size of the size of this pale garden now. So hopefully when you find a pale garden, it's not going to be like a really tiny portion of the dark forest. It's now gonna take up a much bigger size, as it should be, because it's literally a garden. A garden is not small. It should be big. Another change that we can talk about is actually the crossbows. And as you can see in the tooltips, it now tells you which projectile is loaded into the crossbow. So this has a spectral arrow, this has a custom firework rocket, and this has an arrow of poison. Let's go back to that lodestone thing, because before, the lodestone advancement, which is country load take me home advancement, was in the nether, in the nether tab, but now it should be in the adventure tab right here. Yeah, use a compass on a lodestone. And I believe that's everything that's new for Minecraft 1.21.5, or the Spring to Life update. Spring to Life game drop. It's so hard to say that it's a game drop and not an update, but it's technically a game drop and an update. I don't know. I hope they fix that soon. Like, the versioning of the game is gonna be wild later on down down the later game drops. But there's actually more changes. Well, it's mostly under the hood that enables, the variated cows, the textures, or the particles falling down, and like, even the new textures for the spawn eggs. It's all under the hood that, most of the players wouldn't need to know. But I'm just letting you know that a lot of technical changes, even performance upgrades for the game, was changed, was added into this update, for future changes, and also better customization for the game. There's also like another customization where you can customize the inventory, even like the tooltips and stuff like that. There's just a lot of changes that, the general public, general player base wouldn't need to know. And like I said, that's everything in the Spring to Life game drop. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this update is actually gonna come out, I think today. So when the video goes live today, March 25, 2025. Yeah, March 25, 2025 is gonna be the release of this update. And I'm not sure which time. They didn't say any which time, but it is either within today or tomorrow. But if you're watching this video, it's probably going to be live. I'm gonna be posting this March 25th my time, so Philippine Standard Time. So it's gonna be probably 24 for the rest of the world. But yeah, March 25th is going to be the release of the Spring to Life game drop, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned everything that's new for Minecraft 1.21.5. And if you did, press the like button down below. And if you want to see more of these types of videos, press the subscribe button as well. And I will see you guys on the next video. Good. Bye-bye. Big.